Yes.
Sorry, guys, we really have to. We really want to announce it for this rain.
Now, the home team on the scoreboard for this championship game, the Eagles of Aurora Christian. The Atlas are 32-2 in the first innings order. The career record is 237 and 106 over 11 years. And now the starting lineup. Leading off and playing in right field, number 3, Eric Hernandez. Batting second, the center fielder, number 22, and third, the second baseman, number 8, Sam Tickle. Batting fourth this morning, starting pitcher, number 18, Jake Kutzendorf. Batting fifth and playing in left.
It is Championship Saturday in Peoria, your Class 1A state championship coming up. Matching two teams, their programs have never won a baseball state championship, as Aurora Christian will take on Valmeyer. Hi again, everybody. Dave Bernhardt along with Hall of Famer Mark Lindo. Yesterday, these two teams, relatively easy victories. Mark, Valmeyer's 7-3 win over Goreville. Aurora Christian, it was a 3-hour game, but the Eagles outlasted Ottawa Marquette 13-8.
Game time changed due to expected incoming weather, but both these teams will be ready to play. They knew that well in advance. IHSA doing a great job getting the information out, and we should have a great baseball game today with a couple of amazing pitchers numerically out there. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
Valmeyer here for the second time in 2 years in this state championship ball game. Last year, the Pirates dropping the state championship to Peoria Heights, but for Aurora Christian. First time ever in the state finals for the Eagles. Take a look at the lineup for Valmeyer, the Pirates, with a 31-9 mark. Michael Chisholm, he pitched yesterday. He's at first base today leading it off. Cole Jelfs is at shortstop. Jake Krekel in center field. Philip Reinhardt in that cleanup spot. He'll be doing the pitching today. One of the aces that Mark was referring to, Tyler Kempfer behind the plate catching. Batting fifth, Jacob Rowald will hit in the sixth spot at second base. Riley McCarthy will be a third baseman for the Valmeyer Pirates. Drew Mouse is your designated hitter, batting for the right fielder. Ryan Brinkman and Andrew Whipple will bat ninth, and he plays left field. Defensively for Aurora Christian, Clark Turek, MJ Stavola, and Eric Hernandez, your outfield from left to right. Third baseman's Nick Porch, Trey Madsen at shortstop today. Sam Tickle at second. Hunter Thompson is at first. He picked up the pitching win yesterday. Zach Savosnik behind the plate. And the ace of this Aurora Christian staff, just a sophomore, is Jake Kutzendorf.
Yeah, we're treated with two outstanding sophomores today doing battle in the title game. Kutzendorf, 6'1", 180. He's going to continue to grow, but I don't know how much better his numbers can be. 9-0 on the season, 64 in a third innings pitch, allowed just 41 hits, 98 strikeouts for Kutzendorf. Good command, 16 walks on the season, a 1.85 earned run average. He's coming off a super sectional appearance where he struck out 13 in 111 pitches. He'll get up there in the middle 80s. We're ready for state championship baseball to call the 1A finals here from downtown Peoria. The Hall of Fame voice of the Illinois High School Association, my partner, Dave Bernhard.
Thank you very much, Mark. Exciting baseball to be had today. We're playing 1A here at 9 o'clock. Following this, we'll have the 2A championship ball game to attempt to beat the weather. These two teams earn their spot here, and the man that steps into the batter's box, Michael Chisholm, a huge part of that. He had a double yesterday in 4 bats, but it's what he did on the mound for Valmeyer. He picked up the win, went 5 innings, only gave up 2 hits against Goreville, struck out 3 in a very efficient outing. Chisholm kind of bails out on on Kutzendorf.
Pulled off that ball, but Kutzendorf running up there mid-80s early on. Had the start in the super sectional. He should be strong.
Same sort of swing from Chisholm. Michael Chisholm, lanky senior, 6'3", 190 pounds. And you notice his stride, his back foot was on the back edge of the chalk, and the front foot ended up on the front edge. And a quick strikeout gets things started here today at Dozer Park.
Just good old-fashioned hard ball. You start the state tournament off, fastball, 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 fastball. Catch me if you can. He'll throw a 4-seam fastball, a 2-seam fastball. A strong, lanky young man.
Cole Jelfs checks into this tournament with a 385 average. Yesterday, Jelfs 1 for 2, scored a couple of runs. The shortstop also did a little pitching yesterday. In fact, he came out and finished this ball game.
Through just 13 pitches, so he is indeed eligible to pitch today under National Federation rules. Should be the first breaking ball of the day. Kutzendorf shakes it off.
Goes upstairs with heat.
So they wanted the breaking ball from Savasnik, and Kutzendorf said, no, give me the heat.
64 degrees at game time today. That's about 30 degrees cooler than it was yesterday when teams were playing here at Dozer Park. Just a slight breeze, about 4 miles an hour, blowing just slightly in from center field.
Outfield for Aurora Christian shaded far to the right in respect to the fastball of Kutzendorf.
And that's an 87-mile-per-hour fastball.
Second baseman Sam Tickle way over to the first base side. Big hole up the middle.
Kutzendorf had a 5-inning no-hitter in the regional championship ball game. This ball is hit hard. It's going to get through. One out hit for Cole Jelfs.
So Jelfs was not able to turn on the fastball, fouled one away with a very late swing. That was a hanging breaking ball. Kutzendorf did not get any downward vertical bite on that ball. Jelfs keeps his hands back and just laced it right back up the middle there in business.
The highest hitter in this tournament this year in either 1A or 2A is at the plate right now. That's Jake Krekel. All Krekel did yesterday, he went 4 for 4. 3 of those hits were doubles, drove in 3 runs, and scored 3. He is the center fielder for Valmeyer.
Hutzendorf, from the time he broke his glove to ball, 1.1 to home plate. That's pretty good.
This may be the first time that Krekel will be retired in this tournament. Trey Matson will make the catch. That'll bring up Philip Reinhardt. And after this pop out, Reinhardt will step to the plate, where yesterday he had a hit and 4 at bats. You look down at first base, and Julf's 13 stolen bases on the season.
Hometowner, his father Brad and mother Amy, both Valmeyer graduates.
There goes Julfs, and Reinhardt trying to hit behind the runner with 2 outs, fouls it out of play. Valmeyer at 31-9. Aurora Christian 32-2. Only 2 losses this year for the Eagles. First one came in the second game of the season against West Aurora. And then you had to go all the way till April 26th. A 7-3 loss to Harvest Christian Academy. That loss was avenged in the regular season and then once again in the sectional championship ball game, where Harvest Christian fell to Aurora Christian 8-4.
The Eagles trailed in that game 4-1. Were able to come back and secure that win, and the rest of the road to history. He'll be running here.
A pretty big secondary lead, and Julfs will come back. Philip Reinhardt, full-time starter last year, leads his team in hitting at .444. 55 hits. There goes Julfs again, and this one's fouled out of play again.
Always tough if you want to use a pitch out or not, because you have 2 strikes on the batter. So, the difficult decision is to focus on the batter. You don't have to worry about the runner. But with, only 1 ball, 1 and 2 count, you have a chance to throw a pitch out.
This one is lifted into right field. Eric Hernandez is right there, couple steps in. Pretty clean inning for Jake Kutzendorf. Gave a 1-up single to Cole Julfs, and he is stranded at first. Half inning of play in the books in your 1A championship. Aurora Christian coming to bat.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not going to come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
It's like a hockey puck.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Eric Hernandez to lead things off here in the bottom of the first inning for Aurora Christian. Hernandez in right field today. He pitched yesterday. Hernandez went 3 innings. He'll be followed by M.J. Stavola and Sam Tickle. Jake Kutzendorf hits in that cleanup spot, just as his counterpart on the mound, Zach Zavaznik, is the catcher, batting sixth batter, Trey Madsen, Hunter Thompson, and Nick Ports rounds out the starting lineup. Lefty versus lefty to start here with Philip Reinhardt going against Eric Hernandez. The defense behind Reinhardt finds Andrew Whipple, Jake Krekel, and Ryan Brinkman in the outfield. The infield, Riley McCarthy and Cole Jolfs on the left side, Jacob Rowald, Micah Chisholm on the right. Tyler Kempfer is behind the plate. As we said, it's the sophomore lefty, Philip Reinhardt, on the mound.
Reinhardt, 6 foot, 160 pounds, sophomore, 6-2, 60 1/3 innings pitched, allowing just 39 hits on the season. Good strikeout to walk ratio, 75 strikeouts, 10 base on balls, and a very, very impressive 1.39 earned run average. Again, huge storyline. 2 sophomore pitchers leading their teams respectively toward a possible state championship today.
Well, slapper to the left side. Jolfs will have to hurry. Hernandez will beat it. An infield single for Eric Hernandez.
Excellent play by the shortstop Jolfs, but just the speedy left-handed Hernandez beat that. You see him circle around the baseball and then come through the ball. So a good play. I think he'd have thrown out you or I, but not Eric Hernandez with that extra step from the left-handed batter's box. So good play, but speed indeed kills.
MJ Stavola had a hit in 5 at-bats yesterday, drove in a couple of runs. Right up the middle, takes Jolfs right to the bag, and cannot make the throw the other way.
Well, that's a play they leave on the field, and yes, indeed, they get the out. But that's got to be a for sure double play. And what Jolfs did is he crossed the bag. He dropped his right arm down. When you drop down, the ball usually runs away from the first baseman. That indeed happens. So basically, they just allowed an extra out right here for this potent Aurora Christian offense.
And it is Sam Tickle, right side through the hole. Turning the bag at second and heading to third is Stavola. The Eagles now will try to get a runner to second. Nothing doing. Trying to advance to second is Sam Tickle. He is thrown out there. Third to second.
Great execution defensively. Brinkman getting the ball in. I like Tickle's aggressiveness. I really do. Yes, he was out, a bang-bang play. If he's safe, it does nothing but fire up his team even more. They still have a runner in scoring position. But tip your cap, Valmeyer, with a solid defensive play from right field to third base to second base, executing defensively efficiently there.
Went from Brinkman to McCarthy to Rowald for the out. After the first pitch is Jake Kunzendorf. So Philip Reinhardt has allowed singles to each of the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the first inning. Kunzendorf off balance on a changeup, and Jake Krekel will make the easy catch. So runner stranded at third for the Eagles. We played a scoreless first inning here in your Class 1A state championship from Dozer Park in Peoria.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
When I'm out there, it's like I'm free. When I'm out there, I'm an athlete.
As I got to a point in my career where I could give back, the Donald W. Swift Scholarship was a fund that was just natural for me, being that it was in honor of my grandfather. I'm just proud to be able to say that my grandfather's legacy carries on and I know for certain that it's making a big impact.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So, don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
This is game number 1 of a possible 4 here today. Weather supposedly moving in later today, so we're playing our 1A championship right now, early on, a little after 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We'll follow that up with the 2A title game. That'll be Teutopolis taking on Spring Valley Hall. That'll be a matchup of programs. One, a long storied tradition in state championship ball games, and then for Hall, first ever appearance for the Red Devils. But we're talking 1A championship baseball right now, and we'll get it started here in the top of the second inning with Tyler Kempfer at the plate, the catcher for Valmeyer. Big day yesterday, a couple of hits and 3 runs batted in. It's part of that 7-3 win over Goreville. And a quick strikeout, second of the game from Kutzendorf.
Well, that was Kutzendorf's 20th delivery of the morning. 18 of them have been fastballs. 2 off-speed pitches, 1 off-speed. You see the gas up there. They're not going to get that great replay of going above his hands. He threw 1 breaking ball that stayed upstairs. That was turned around for a base hit. So he's going to play catch me if you can with his fastball.
As you mentioned earlier, 13 strikeouts in the super sectional win over Forreston. He'll be facing Jacob Rowald, the second baseman for the Pirates. Rowald yesterday had a key RBI single.
Right now, Kutzendorf in a get it and pitch it mode.
Good cut by Rowald. Jacob Rowald, freshman.
.40 student gets it done in the classroom.
He'll go down looking. Back-to-back strikeouts start things off here in the second inning.
That was an excellent strikeout. I had a little chuckle because Savasnik, we'll get a chance to see on the replay. Watch how quickly he gets up. He knows the strike rate. Look at that. I mean, he didn't wait it. He knew where that pitch was at. And the punch-out's starting to mount for Kutzendorf.
Riley McCarthy, now a .240 hitter on the season. He was 0 for 1 yesterday. Yeah, if you're up there in the batter's box, you better be ready to hit because Kutzendorf's not giving you much time.
I mean, he's 9-0 right now, but 85, 86, he's going to be tipping 90, 91 before he's done with high school. And that doesn't count his 19, 20, 21, 22 age. This young man has an incredible upside.
They'll leave that one high. 3 balls and a strike. Down to third base coaching box is Greg Reinhardt in his 16th year overall as a head coach. 258 wins, 172 losses. There's a swing and a miss. He coached his first 8 years at Kewanee Weathersfield and here at Valmeyer. Back-to-back trips here to the state championship ball game. 7 years as a Pirate head coach, 131 wins. This one is fouled away.
Went to high school at Sparta down in southern Illinois and then McHenry, Lebanon, Illinois, right? McHenry College? McHenry, yep.
Mm-hmm. Greg Reinhardt was an Army veteran, served in Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom. And you can ring up Riley McCarthy. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout here in the second inning. 4 altogether for Jake Kutzendorf. After an inning and a half, we're scoreless between Valmeyer and Aurora Christian for your 1A state championship.
Champs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Champs.
You do more than kick a football. You kick it again and again and again. You go the extra mile. Do the extra rep. All for the win. You step up for your team, just like we do for our clients. Take simple steps for your future.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities.
Clark Turek, Zach Zavaznik, and Trey Madsen, the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Aurora Christian. They'll face Philip Reinhardt. Gave up a couple of hits in the first inning. That one floats in at 71 miles per hour. Hit hard inside the line, down the right field line. Turek hits the bag at first. Heading to second, right fielder Ryan Brinkman will dig it out of the corner, and it's a leadoff double for Turek to start the second inning.
Turek did a good job fighting that ball off up and in and kept his hands above the baseball, above and inside. Able to keep it fair. Had a couple of hits yesterday, 3 RBIs, and then this leadoff double today, setting the table. A good start for the Eagles. Hitting a pretty tough pitch hard to right field.
Zach Zavaznik will step to the plate. Zavaznik hitless in 3 at-bats yesterday. .367 hitter on the season.
Philip Reinhardt coming off a start where he threw only 97 pitches to get the win, 73 of them strikes.
Reinhardt had Zavaznik flinching just a little bit there. Reinhardt, the look to second.
Reinhardt won the semifinal game last year to move his team to the championship game. Today, an opportunity, the ball in his hands, to win the state championship for his team.
Rolled out to third base, McCarthy. A glance to second, throw across, the out at first, and advancing to third will be Turek.
That's fundamentally sound base running because Turek waits. You'll see him on your screen. Watch him. He just wait, and then the break. Excellent base running by Turek to get to third base with less than 2 outs. 1 on the board. We're going to draw the infield halfway, but you get the ball out of the infield in the air, and you got a sacrifice fly here.
They are in for Trey Madsen. 1 for 2. A couple of runs scored yesterday for Madsen. Split his time between third base and shortstop. He is at shortstop today. Madsen, a junior. He's driven in 27 runs. Just waves through that pitch from Reinhardt.
Reinhardt has the upper hand on Madsen now. He can go up and in or slow, low, down, away.
He goes up and away.
The strike zone incredibly expanded with 0-2 in a hitter's mind.
Madsen stared it down all the way and took it for a ball.
So he went up and then he went slow, low. I don't think he'll get a pitch on the inner part unless it's a mistake by Reinhardt.
And there's a call strike, and he knew it. Right on the outside corner, froze Trey Madsen for the second out of the game and the first strikeout for Reinhardt.
Now, that's a situation where if you are Madsen, you have to look away and then hit away with a runner in scoring position, anything to put the ball in play. The infield was halfway. The outfield was plenty deep enough for you to get the ball elevation, get the run in. Now his teammate Thompson's got to pick him up.
Hunter Thompson hitting out of the 8th spot, swings at the first pitch. Thompson's contribution yesterday, well, he was 0 for 2 at the plate. That was not the big part of it. He was a winning pitcher, picked up his 7th win, 4 innings of relief, gave up 3 runs, none of which were earned. He ended up throwing 94 pitches.
Struck out 4 and walked 1 in that relief win.
When we talk about the number of pitches thrown, that matters. He will not be able to pitch today after having thrown 94 yesterday. Up the middle, Jolfs is able to knock it down, and that run will score. The ball thrown away, and Aurora Christian will take the 1-0 lead. A hit by Hunter Thompson, then the error will advance Thompson to second.
Well, Jolfs lays out for that ball, can't finish the deal, then ends up throwing it away, getting Chisholm off the base. But a good job by Hunter Thompson picking up his teammate Madsen. Madsen struck out with the man on third and one out. Good team baseball by the Eagles. Next guy up picks it up, and they score that two-out run, ever so important. First one up on the board.
Clark Turek scoring the run. He led off this inning with the double. Now it's Nick Ports. Jolfs comes and gets it and retires the side, but the RBI single from Hunter Thompson brings in Clark Turek from third base. And Aurora Christian on the board first at the end of two. It's the Eagles 1, Valmeyer nothing.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Jake Kutzendorf will head to the top of the third inning, coming off a striking out the side second inning. The first man he faces will be Drew Mouse, to be followed by Andrew Whipple, then the top of the Valmeyer order, and Michael Chisholm. Mouse, a designated hitter, hitless in 4 at-bats yesterday. Once again, he is batting for Ryan Brinkman, the right fielder.
Mouse can drive in some runs, but he had a difficult day tracking the baseball yesterday. Ahead 2-0. He can sit dead red on a fastball from Kutzendorf here.
He got it and passed up on it. Last year, Valmeyer got to this game, lost to Peoria Heights 6-2, and coincidentally enough, for Peoria Heights, that was their first ever appearance in the state finals, just as Aurora Christian is this year. Mouse get his first hit of the tournament. Spanks it on the ground to right field. Leadoff man aboard. Andrew Whipple comes to the plate.
Well, we talked about this before. When you have a 1-0 count, that time it went to 2-0, on-base percentage in high school is up to 500. When you're 0-1, the on-base percentage for hitters is 322. So once Mouse was 1-0, then 2-0, he took a fastball on the outer edge and still expecting fastball, got it, was able to lace it past the diving second baseman.
Whipple, a 342 average on the season for Valmeyer. Yesterday, Andrew had a hit in 2 at-bats. Pick off at first, and they got him. Drew Mouse picked off by Kutzendorf.
Couple of storylines here. One, we wouldn't think Mouse is a running threat right there, but watch the feet of Kutzendorf. Maybe get a chance to see that one more time. His feet is what made that play. So it's not the throw for young players. It's how quickly you can do that hop pivot.
So Mouse's base hit right there is ended up wasted as he's picked off first base. Andrew Whipple looks at a strike right down the middle. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Bunt third base side. Ports up with it. Can't find a handle. That'll be a base hit. Bunt single for Andrew Whipple.
Well, that brings a smile to people like you and I, the drag bunt. I know we both love that part of the game. We haven't seen that too much yesterday in the 4 semifinal games, but you know what? If you can handle a stick and you see a third baseman playing back, go ahead and put some pressure on the defense. Get yourself a base knock and move the line.
Back to the top of the order, and Michael Chisholm. You know, that's a heads-up play there by Whipple, not just in terms of execution, fakes a break on the steal, he stays. But because of his success, it somewhat wipes out the memory of Mouse being picked off. Kind of gives you a different feeling of momentum, as in, okay, we're coming right back at you. Whipple back easily.
Chisholm with 1,456 points scored on the hardwood, number 2 all-time in Valmeyer history.
To right field, Hernandez right there. 2 out for Jolfs.
The all-time leader for Valmeyer, Bud Rippinger, 51 grad, who scored 1,855 points on the hardwood. But storyline there as he went on to pitch for the Washington Senators and then be a pitching coach for the Phillies.
Jolfs at the plate, single to center field his first time up. He was stranded at first base. Now was back in the beginning of this ball game, second batter of the game.
You know, even though Whipple has good speed, that pickoff earlier kind of set a tone for good feet out there. Good feet. That's a talk that goes on a bench.
That lead from Whipple, only about a stride, and that is it.
So we talk about the upside of Kutzendorf. I mean, honestly, there's another upside when you can hold runners like when you have that kind of feet toward first base.
Jolfs with the center fielder Stavola wanting it all the way. And despite allowing 2 hits in the inning, no damage done. Nobody gets past first base. 2.5 in the books. 1-0 lead for Aurora Christian. They'll bat next.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
When I'm out there, it's like I'm free. When I'm out there, I'm an athlete.
As I got to a point in my career where I could give back, the Donald W. Swift Scholarship was a fund that was just natural for me, being that it was in honor of my grandfather. I'm just proud to be able to say that my grandfather's legacy carries on, and I know for certain that it's making a big impact.
Aurora Christian already with 4 hits off of Philip Reinhardt. They've been through their order one time. We started at the top of the Eagles lineup, and that's Eric Hernandez. He had an infield single to get things going. His first time up, hit it in the 5-6 hole, so the third baseman Riley McCarthy for Valmeyer is shading that way. And it's spanked that way, but it's deep down the left field line. It's going to get into the corner. It will roll to the wall. Hernandez cruises in with a stand-up double.
Good start for the Eagles as Hernandez, who hit his first and only home run of the season in the Super Sectional, that 2-1 win, laces that one with extra base authority to left field line. Ball to the line, goes to the line. That kept running away from Andrew Whipple. And Hernandez with a stand-up double, 2 for 2 on the morning, setting the table for the big boppers coming up.
So 5 of the 10 batters that have come to the plate today for Aurora Christian have picked up a base hit. And that is a very quick conversation between father and son, Greg Reinhardt and his son, Philip.
So Andy Zorger quite clearly knows his personnel. Stavola's job is to get Hernandez to third. Does he do it with a bunt, or does he try to go inside out, hit the ball the right side with a swing?
He hits it hard, and it's going to go over the head of Krekel. He came in, the ball gets over his head. Hernandez will score easily, and it's back-to-back doubles for Aurora Christian and a 2-0 lead.
Well, he hit that ball hard, and Krekel yesterday was not good, but outstanding in center field. On this particular play, you see his first step is forward, and that ball continued to carry. So 2 balls driven, 1 to the left field corner, 1 over the head of the center fielder, Krekel. And Aurora Christian, with arguably their best hitter up now, has a chance for a pretty good inning to create some separation.
Sam Tickle at the plate, he singled in the first inning. Tickle, .544 average this season coming into the tournament.
3 for 6 in the tournament, so his average has dropped.
How about that?
That's incredible.
Hits this one hard, and that average is going to jump up again. Rounding third, Stavola. And the ball gets loose and a chance to get to second, and that's exactly what Tickle will do. It is 3-0.
Boy, he laced that ball hard right past Jacob Rowald for the RBI. See him stay tall and over the ball, heads back, and then he just barrels it up. And remember earlier, Tickle was thrown out at second on the double, trying to stretch things. He went and played aggressively again, this time safe. So they trade second base for second base for second base with these 3 hitters.
Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. 3 runs are in. Kunzendorf takes a big hack. He had our lone home run of the day yesterday of the 4 games, and it was a deep one over the left field wall up on the berm nearly in the picnic area. That was a 2-run shot.
An amazing 17 times Aurora Christian has scored 10 or more runs this season, including 13 yesterday.
They hit .414 as a team. That's a team batting average, and Kunzendorf will look at strike 3. .414 is a team batting average, and that's one thing that head coach Andy Zorger says, well, one thing we do is we just let our kids hit. And that's what you do with hitters, let them hit. And speaking of Andy Zorger, he is in his 11th season, picked up his 237th win yesterday against just 106 losses. Now it's Clark Turek. He had a double. 3 doubles here, and they've all come in the last 2 innings. For the Eagles, they have 7 hits already. We have 1 out here in the third.
2016, they won 24 games. 2017, 24 games, won regional titles, and were beaten in sectional play. This year, they find themselves in the state title game.
One little hop to Kempfer and an easy walk to third for Tickle.
Great base running by Tickle, and I think Kempfer maybe was lulled to sleep a little bit. That ball was in the dirt, and he kind of went on it in a laissez-faire approach, thinking, okay, Tickle's not going to advance, but Tickle read the fly of the ball, advanced easily.
Now a ball on the ground in the middle of the infield will score another run.
I think the way Kutzendorf is dealing, you have to bring your infield in, and now they do. I think you can't just concede another run.
This goes off the glove of Kempfer. Passed ball will score the 3rd run of the inning. 4-0 Aurora Christian. things falling apart a little bit for the Pirates.
Well, how about and how about a run created there? Tickle gets a single, then he advances on a throw, then he advances on third on a ball that went about 2 feet from the catcher, and then scores on a ball back to the screen. So speed and aggressiveness and excellent base running by the Eagles have extended their lead.
And up in the air goes Rowald for the second out. Well, Tickle did all of that after this inning started with back-to-back doubles by Hernandez and Stavola. A small look for a second as it may get over the glove of Rowald. But instead, it brings us to Zach Zavaznik. Up the middle, and this one will just wiggle its way through for the fourth hit of this third inning.
And 8 hits up on the board for this omnipotent Aurora Christian lineup. We talked about their double-digit scoring. You touched on their batting average well above the 400 mark, and they just continue to just come at you, come at you, come at you. There is not an easy out in this lineup.
Trey Madsen's the 7th batter to hit in this inning. He struck out looking his first time up.
He's a 7th batter in their batting order, and he's hitting .449. My goodness.
You're going to score a few runs when you can put that together. You know, the one thing Valmeyer has to do right now, have to fight off that urge to hang your head and feel like, oh, we're kind of back where we were last year in this championship ball game, falling behind. Slicing to the left field line, and down it goes. Heading to third base, standing up and barely safe was Zavaznik. Oh, my.
Well, Zavaznik gets away with one, and he knows he actually went to his chest like, my bad, because he did not slide. A lot of times when you don't slide into that base, you're kind of asking for the umpire to call you out. But another good inside-out swing. 2 left-handers have gone down the left field line. Great hitting approach by the Eagles. Hit number 9 up on the board.
5 in this inning. Runners second and third, and this is about it here for Valmeyer. They cannot allow these two to score. They need to keep this a 4-0 game.
Excellent point. This is probably the key of the game thus far. 4-0, 6-0.
Hunter Thompson waves a second pitch after fouling the first one off.
And to reiterate, especially with the way Kutzendorf has been the king of the hill.
There's strike 3. 2 strikeouts in an inning for Reinhardt. However, Aurora Christian hits the board for 3. They package together 5 hits. 3 of them are doubles. And at the end of 3 in the 1A championship ball game, Aurora Christian, the 4-0 lead.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
When I'm out there, it's like I'm free. When I'm out there, I'm an athlete.
As I got to a point in my career where I could give back, the Donald W. Swift Scholarship was a fund that was just natural for me, being that it was in honor of my grandfather. I'm just proud to be able to say that my grandfather's legacy carries on, and I know for certain that it's making a big impact.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking.
Valmeyer comes into this game with a 31-9 record, and of those 9 losses, only one of them has come to a 1A or 2A team. They have played a tough schedule, but they've got to get the bats moving here. We're already in the top of the 4th inning, 3-4-5 in order. Jake Krekel looks to get things started after a 4-for-4 day yesterday.
Well, these guys know how to win. Their first sectional title game ever last year, and then they ended up getting to the championship in Peoria. Now they're back again, and way back in 13 and 14, these guys won as junior high players. So they've been together for a long time and won together for a long time.
Playing with the American Legion team, the Valmeyer Mudcats. You know, in each of these two schools, and I say schools, not just baseball teams, playing in memory of some former classmates. For Valmeyer, as Krekel goes down to first base, for Valmeyer, they remember classmate Zach Brown, former classmate. He died of muscular dystrophy back in 2011. They wear his initials on their caps.
So in memoriam and close-knit community, and for Aurora Christian, Nick Cook, student tragically killed in a car accident coming back from golf, where Andy Zorger's a golf coach as well last fall. That stunned the Aurora Christian and Aurora community in general.
Philip Reinhardt at the plate. Reinhardt flew out to right field his first time up. The home plate umpire today is Dan Wazorek. Fred Steinway is at first. Carl Shreve, third base umpire, working this 1A title game. 2A championship game follows. Teutopolis and Hall. In that ball game, a little bit of history will be made in either case. If Teutopolis wins, it will be head coach Justin Fleener's 4th state championship. That will be an all-time Illinois baseball record. And if Hall wins that ball game, it will be their first baseball championship. Pickoff throw behind the runner. No damage done.
And once again, whoever wins this ball game will be the first time ever for either school.
Runners first and second. Nobody out here in the 4th inning.
So if there's something mechanically right now, as we'll see a visit to the mound, what has gone on with these back-to-back walk by Kutzendorf is he's not finishing his pitch. So what I mean by that is when you finish your pitch, you want to get your chest over your lead leg, i.e. the follow-through, as they say it in layman's terms. And he's standing up at about a 45-degree angle instead of getting down to that 90-degree angle to finish his pitch. So that's why the ball is staying up. And honestly, his last couple of pitches have been 83, 84 instead of 87, 88. So he's got to use his legs and finish. Use your legs and finish. If he does that, he'll have that same giddy-up he had early on.
And he will have to face Tyler Kempfer with 2 aboard and nobody out. Outfield fairly deep, the hard-hitting catcher. Zavaznik, the quick message. This is the sign system we're going to go with.
Zavaznik has to be careful. He came up out of his crouch pretty quickly there, and sometimes you impede the vision of the umpire. You might take a strike call away from your pitcher.
Kempfer hits this one high to left field. Giving ground is Turek. Deep left center, and coming in front of him to make the catch is Stavola. Runner tags at second. Chisholm is hit by the ball as he goes to second, and advancing or to third as advancing to second, Philip Reinhardt. So the long fly ball puts 2 runners in scoring position.
How about how far Stavola went to get that baseball, and it was the right play because Turek's running away from home plate. Stavola running toward the baseball, called him off. Center fielder's the captain of that, and very, very solid play in the outfield because communication was of the essence. So you can, even though we didn't hear it up here, there was a lot of verbal and nonverbal communication going on between Stavola and Turek.
Rowald was a strikeout victim in the second inning. Third baseman Nick Ports is in on the grass or in the cut of the grass. And now they move the first baseman Thompson in. He was playing back. Middle infield is deep with a 4-run lead. Grabbed by Kutzendorf, and he will get the out over at first base.
Kutzendorf, 2 good plays. Watch first, athleticism right there. And then look at that play as he turns toward the runner, freezes him with his eyeballs, sets himself, gathers, and throws for out number 2.
With the 4-run lead, he certainly made the right play, but you could see in the background the runner at second, that was Philip Reinhardt. He was about 2/3 of the way down the line towards third because he thought the runner at third, Jake Kruckel, was going to make a break for it. 2 outs, Riley McCarthy. Chance here to drive in 2.
Well, Valmeyer, 28 wins last year, 31 wins this year. Pretty good 1-2 punch, 2017 and 18.
We keep reminding you that this is a team last year had their first sectional title. The year before that, they won a regional title, and that ended a 45-year drought of not winning a regional. And this group of players have been together since they were hitting the ball off a tee. Back-to-back appearances here in the state championship game. Three balls, 2 strikes. If they get to him, Drew Mouse, leading run producer, on deck. Rowald will lift this to left field. Turek near the line. And that will close the inning. No damage done. Couple of walks to lead it off, a deep fly ball, and then ground out, fly out. And Jake Kutzendorf gets out of it. Aurora Christian gets out of it. Halfway home here in your 1A championship, a 4-0 lead for the Eagles from Aurora Christian.
Champs on 3, 1, 2, 3. Champs.
You do more than kick a football. You kick it again and again and again. You go the extra mile. Do the extra rep. All for the win. You step up for your team, just like we do for our clients. Take simple steps for your future.
Just a reminder, kids who participate in high school activities tend to go a little farther than those who don't. Take part. Get set for life.
Eight Aurora Christian batters came to the plate last inning. 3 of them scored. We'll start with the only player who did not bat. That's number 9 hitter in the order, Nick Ports. Aurora Christian threw 3 innings, 4 runs, 9 hits. And they have 4 extra base hits, 4 doubles.
Andrew Whipple playing in left field in the normal left field position. Now, Aurora Christian's had a couple left-handers get the ball down the left field line. You might want to start shading that just a little bit more. That's why the catch last inning by Turk was so easy to end the top of the 4th inning, because he had shaded the left-handed hitting way to the left field line.
Reinhardt will take it off the check swing, tapper, and one up, one down. Philip Reinhardt, kind of in uncharted territory here. He came in allowing only 39 hits and 60 innings pitched. And already 9 hits in his first 3 1/3 today.
Reinhardt plays basketball. He was a sectional qualifier in golf. So a 3-sport athlete. Coach's son carries himself just like you would think a coach's son does.
Eric Hernandez, 2 for 2 today. A single in the first inning, and then a double and a run scored in the third. We are not the only 1A championship game being played here in the Peoria area. They are also playing the 1A softball title game. And in that game, Goreville looking to go back-to-back. They're in trouble. Last year, Lady Black Cats won it. This year, they're trailing Windsor Stewart's and Strasburg Co-op 6-0 in the bottom of the third.
Wait a minute. Bottom of the third?
Bottom of the third inning.
And we're in the bottom of the fourth.
We indeed are.
We're ahead of softball right now. That won't last.
Softball running at the same schedule we are, playing the 1A championship game, followed by 2A. Reinhardt quickly off the mound, 2 outs.
Good play by Philip Reinhardt. Finished his pitch, squared his feet. Good idea by Hernandez. Basically, you want anybody to throw you out except for the pitcher. Not a very good bat angle, good idea, and Reinhardt, a good feeling pitcher.
Looking for a 1-2-3 inning. Have to get past MJ Stavola. That's exactly what Valmeyer would need. They had a scoring threat in the top half of the inning. Nothing developed out of it. Well, if you can slam the door here, 1-2-3, after giving up 3 in the third inning, you kind of get the feet back underneath you.
Stavola's father, Joe, an assistant coach. Yeah, and going back to your point, Valmeyer is in a situation where, quite honestly, they have to score next. They have to put the next run on the board, make it 4-1, what have you. They just have to regroup that momentum. If Aurora Christian scores next, honestly, I think they can put the game away.
We're about an hour into this ball game. Again, Topless and Spring Valley Hall will take the field following this one. We're expecting some rain later. They're talking about maybe rain about 1:15, so that's about 2-3 hours away. This could be another double. This is Stavola. Rounds first hard. He's going to try for it. Here's the throw, and he's in there. Yet another double for Aurora Christian. It's the second of the day for Stavola.
Well, I love to watch him hit, but I love to watch him run even more. He sees that play in front of him, a long run for Whipple to chase that ball down the left field line. Once again, he does a good job getting it quickly, but too much speed for Stavola, who had one thing in mind, that's second base.
5 of the 10 hits for Aurora Christian today have been doubles, and I believe 4 of those 5 have been on the line, either the left field or right field line. Now Sam Tickle, he has a single and a run batted in.
4 for 7 in the 2 days. RBI situation opportunity here for Tickle.
Singled in the first, singled in the third. So 4 for 7, that's going to keep his number right there at a season-long .544 batting average. Runner breaks for third, and that'll be an easy stolen base for Stavola.
And good call by you as far as easy, because there's a rule in baseball, you never make the third out at third base, and especially with a left-handed hitter, but that was too easy. It was there for the taking for Stavola.
Aurora Christian never trailed yesterday in their 13-8 win over Ottawa Marquette. They had a 7-run inning in the second inning. The lead was cut to 3 and pushed back up to 7. Then cut to 3, and finally a couple of runs in the top of the 7th inning finished it off. Just as Reinhardt finishes off Sam Tickle. No runs crossed the plate. There was a hit. It was a 2-out double from MJ Stavola. And we'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Valmeyer looking for some runs. They're down 4-0.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Valmeyer will have to get it going with 8-9-1 in their order here to start the 5th inning against Jake Kunzendorf, who has cruised along. Kunzendorf has allowed 3 hits, walked a couple, and struck out 4.
Kunzendorf, that's his 65th pitch. He's thrown 65% strikes here this morning and started 9 of his 17 batters faced out with first pitch strikes. So very efficient. He's gone about, 80% with fastballs? And a few breaking balls mixed in, which just makes that fastball look that much quicker.
He had a cluster of strikeouts in the 2nd inning, struck out the side. 3 of his 4 strikeouts coming in that frame. Mouse sends this back our way, bangs off the upper level here at Dozer Park. Next week, we will be in Joliet for the Class 3A and 4A state baseball finals.
All turf field in Joliet now.
Yeah, that will be a new experience for the
will.
state baseball tournament.
So Aurora Christian's going to take home their first ever baseball trophy, but they've had some success in their athletic program up and down. Probably the most noticeable is their football program with the Beebe family, and obviously Don Davidson led the basketball program to some great success in the 90s.
Total of 5 state championships for Aurora Christian. Valmeyer High School looking for its first. Trying to avoid here. Back-to-back second place finishes. Mouse just got a piece of that one. I don't think he didn't realize that he did. He was ready to walk back to the dugout. He'll step back in. Mouse senior designated hitter. 2 hops, last one a big one to Madsen. Long throw, got him easily. 1 gone to Andrew Whipple. Whipple reached his last time on a bunt single.
And Nick Porch remembers that. He was playing back the first time. Now he's up right at the cutoff. So that's what a bunt hit can do for you. Now much better angles to hit the ball through the left side.
Well, for Andrew Whipple, he's playing his last high school baseball game. And I believe at the conclusion of this game, he will have to give up his title of dugout prankster. He was the official dugout prankster, and Now I don't know what he's tutored, mentored Riley McCarthy, who's a sophomore, to take over his spot for Valmeyer.
And a lot of the video game action for the Valmeyer team goes on at the Whipple home. They'll carry that out through the summer.
Able to stay alive, just a little spanking the ball down the left field line. Whipple looking to get on here with one out in the fifth.
Turk shading way toward the left field lane in left field. Big gap in left center field between Turk and Stavola, but boy, we know Stavola can run things down.
I was going to say, you can have a little scouting report. You can see how you know your pitcher, but the bottom line is, as an outfielder, you have to know where can I play, where can I get to, and Stavola is going to get a shot here. Covered a lot of ground, makes the catch in short left center field for the second out.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty high, but Stavola, he probably ran 20 to 25 yards for this ball. Now, it's up a long time. Watch his, that's a good 25-yard sprint to that baseball, and he makes it look almost effortless.
2 quick outs. Back to the top of the order to Michael Chisholm. Chisholm 0 for 2 today, 1 for 6 in the tournament. Pitched this team to the win. In the semifinals, the 7-3 win over Goreville.
Totopoulos in the house. Down the left field line.
It's a little bit different today. Remember yesterday we had teams here
baking.
yeah, for hours before their game would start. Fastball right on the outside corner. From that full windup, Kutzendorf gets Chisholm to go right through it. Michael Chisholm struck out his first time up, and that's how our ball game started today.
His dad, Jason Chisholm, played for DuPo down in the southwest corner of the state in the state finals as well. So like father, like son.
In fact, Michael Chisholm, along with his dad, big-time bass fishermen. They love to fish for bass. In fact, Chisholm is going to Southeast Missouri University, where he's going to be on the bass fishing team. He'll go down on strikes, a 1-2-3 inning for Aurora Christian and Jake Kutzendorf, and they are rolling. We roll into the bottom of the 5th inning, 4-0 Eagles.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
When I'm out there, it's like I'm free. When I'm out there, I'm an athlete.
As I got to a point in my career where I could give back, the Donald W. Swift Scholarship was a fund that was just natural for me.
Aurora Christian, 32 wins, just 2 losses, looking to pad their lead. 4, 5, 6 in the order, starting with Jake Kutzendorf. The 10-hit attack, Kutzendorf does not have any. Fly out and a strikeout. Philip Reinhardt working on the hill for Valmeyer. Four runs, 10 hits, no errors for Aurora Christian. No runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors for Valmeyer. That one's just wide of the bag at third. A little bit of action down in that left field bullpen.
Warming up for Aurora Christian.
Deep foul.
Is MJ Stavola. He's only pitched 9 2/3 innings this year. 2.90 earned run average. And that's in respect to pitch count concerns. Of course, Kutzendorf will be out there to start the next inning, but you have to have somebody ready.
Right center field. Kutzendorf drives it. Krekel on the move. Collision. Brinkman. And it's Ryan Brinkman that will make the catch. Krekel is still down.
He gave a high five to his teammates. Yeah, no, just catch his little siesta.
Both players you see going full speed. Boy, that could have been a lot worse.
That ball, was right in between them, and they both thought it was their ball.
One out, Clark Turek. He has a double today. This one lined to left field, and Whipple will make it look easy. Couple of quick outs here to start the fifth inning, or in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Aurora Christian's theme or motto is for him in respect to their Christian ministry of their school. And, I asked Coach Zorger, I said, is that your own theme? I always ask the coaches what their theme is. No, he said, the football team started that a few years ago, and the whole athletic program then adopted that same commonality. So it's pretty cool that the entire school athletic program goes with the same focus.
Zavaznik is 1 for 2 today, singled in the third. He hit this ball hard, left center, hooking away from Krekel, and that's down. They'll split the outfielders in left center. Zavaznik, yet another Aurora Christian double, their 6th of this game.
That leads me to grab my program and look for the doubles record. 6 doubles is a lot.
In 5 innings. Pinch runner Antoni Campbell going out there for Zavaznik. I think he lost sight of where Zavaznik was because Campbell came sprinting out of the dugout. He was heading towards first base, and I said, oh, wait a minute, and he veers off and goes around the mound. At the plate now is Trey Madsen. He has one of those doubles.
Okay, so Tootopoulos last year against SJO had 4 doubles. That was a state championship record. That's been smashed. So 6 in the state championship game. And for any state tournament game, the record was 6 by Walther Lutheran in 2011. So they've tied state tournament record, broken the championship record, and they still have a few more ABs to get another double.
They do. We have 2 outs here in the 5th. Madsen having one of those doubles after striking out his first time up. Hit hard and down. And another run will score. 5-0 Aurora Christian. Safe at second.
Double number 7.
There you go. This has been pretty amazing.
I'll trade places with you, basically, is what they're saying.
There have been a few, stand-up doubles, if you will, but there are about half of these. They have been flat-out hustle doubles.
Yeah, they love to run the bases. They love to create havoc. They love to force plays. You go way back to Tickle being thrown out in the first inning, and we complimented that. We said, go ahead and make a defense make plays. And there hasn't been any misplays, but they have not been able to throw them out on the base paths anytime since then. And there's that all-important run. Remember we talked about who scored next? Aurora Christian has it up on the board.
Now you start counting those outs. Valmeyer only has 6 outs. Get 5 runs. So that's if this inning ends here with the at-bat with Hunter Thompson. Reinhardt will stay in the ball game. The hit totals today for Aurora Christian: 2 hits in the first, 2 in the second, 5 in the third. They had a double in the fourth and 2 more hits, both of them doubles here in the fifth. 7 doubles on the day. And that is a foul ball just outside of the bag. And had that been another 12 inches, that would have been another 2-bagger.
Well, Philip Reinhardt has had a superlative year. He had given up only 39 hits in 16 and third inning coming in. He's given up 12 hits in 5+ innings here, or 4+ innings. That just shows you Aurora Christian's ability to hit the baseball with authority.
Fastball pops the glove of Kempfer. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reinhardt with 4 strikeouts today. The Eagles have earned it. Reinhardt has not walked a batter. This 1A championship game moved up an hour. First game of the day. The Teutopolis Hall games actually moved up a couple of games worth, and that gets through Kempfer. And advancing to third will be Madsen. The Valmeyer fans have been very quiet today. It's not been what they were looking for coming into this one. Aurora Christian brought the highly touted offense to Peoria, and they have flexed it here in the 2 games. Reinhardt will get the strikeout. That will finish the inning, but a run crosses the plate. A couple of doubles, scores another. 5 complete. It's 5-0. Aurora Christian on top of Valmeyer.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute. So?
You wouldn't do it there. So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Like they're the fashion police.
Champs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Champs.
You do more than kick a football. You kick it again and again and again. You go the extra mile. Do the extra rep. All for the win. You step up for your team, just like we do for our clients. Take simple steps for your future.
Jake Kutzendorf has retired the last 6 batters he has faced. He has thrown 84 pitches, and he will start it off here with Cole Jolfs. Jolfs today 1 for 2, has one of the 3 Valmeyer hits. On the ground to Madsen. Came up on him. And unable to come up with it over at first base is Hunter Thompson. Jolfs will reach on the error.
Well, Madsen does a good job knocking this ball down right there. Then he does a good job going to his bare hand rather than his glove. Very important for young players to understand that. But dropped down just a bit on his throw and short hopped his first baseman, Thompson.
Left-handed hitting, Jake Krekel. First pitch into the air. Tickle will make the catch for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Reinhardt. Reinhardt today, a fly out and a walk. Kunzendorf, throw to first. He had a pickoff back in the third inning after the leadoff man reached base. At the time, that was pretty huge because Aurora Christian had just put a 2 spot up in the bottom of the second inning. With the leadoff man for Valmeyer on, you thought, well, maybe something could happen here, but Kunzendorf shut it down in a hurry.
Kunzendorf was touching 86, 87 the first couple innings. He settled in at about 83, 84.
There have been not too many good swings for Valmeyer off of the sophomore. In the hole, nice pick there by Ports. He'll get the out at first. He saved a base hit right there.
Very well done. The biggest thing he did, fundamentally sound, watch his glove stay down. Glove down, down, down. You always work, we tell our players, from the basement up. So get that ball, get that glove down, and good things can happen. The ball can find it oftentimes.
We'll get a courtesy runner out at second base. Actually, a pinch runner, because Jolf's going to come off the field. He's in all likelihood going to run down to the bullpen very quickly and get loosened up. Meanwhile, Tyler Kempfer will look to drive in the first run of the day for the Pirates.
MJ Stavola had loosened up in the Aurora Christian Eagle pen, if need be.
Kempfer today, a strikeout victim and a fly out. Kunzendorf thought he had one there. It's 2-0. Three balls and a strike. On deck is Rowald. Take on all the way.
Valmeyer needs runners, but I think you'll see a green light here because they got to get the first run in.
It's driven to left center field. It's down and a run will score. Kempfer, big turn at first, but an RBI for Tyler Kempfer. And a 5-1 game.
Valmeyer, too good a team to not have some fight left in it. Got a fastball up around his waist height, and he just laced it into left center field. Good piece of hitting the drive and the run. 3-1 hitters count.
Get a runner for Kempfer over at first base, and the infield, a little bit of a meeting on the mound here for the Eagles. Well, they matched the run that Aurora Christian put on the board in the bottom of the fifth. And here's the stage of this ball game here in the sixth inning. You have to do a little more than match. Rowald 0 for 2. He'll look to keep it moving. We're up to 97 in the pitch count for Kunzendorf. He'd like to clean up this inning as quickly as possible so he can run out there for the seventh.
Greg Reinhardt reminding his team, we need more than you, to his base runner. And what I mean by that is he's telling them we're taking no chances. You're up 5-1, you can stay aggressive. You're chasing 5-1, You have to stay a little bit on the defensive on the base paths and count on your offense. Just bring the next hitter up, bring the next hitter up, bring the next hitter, move the line.
Up the middle, and a good break there for the shortstop. Trey Madsen thought for his second and may hit the bag, but Madsen will take it, 6 unassisted for the force out. Valmeyer will have to be satisfied with one. 1 run in the inning. There was a hit and an error, and we go to the bottom of the 6th, a 4-run lead for the Eagles.
Watching these kids grow up is amazing, but keeping up with a growing family can be a challenge. 3 boys need a lot of school supplies and sports gear, so we started using our family pumpkin farm to help us keep up. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation. It's my personal responsibility.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for your family's future isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find a representative near you at takesimplesteps.com.
Hey, great party.
Oh, thanks. Here you go. 1 hamburger, medium well.
This is well done.
No. That's medium well.
What? Are you calling me a liar? This thing is practically burned.
That's it. You're not gonna come to my house and tell me how to cook a hamburger.
You wouldn't do it there.
Gotta be crazy.
So don't do it here. Sportsmanship. It's up to you.
Nick Ports bats in the bottom of the 6th inning, 9-1-2 here in the Eagles order for Andy Zorger. Ports on the first pitch will bounce it out to Julf at shortstop. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Julf can handle himself around the middle infield. Got a good hop for himself. Measured his throw, gets the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Now Greg Reinhardt will leave the dugout, and he will head out to where his son Philip stands on the mound. Will the son give the ball to the father? I believe that's the case. And Julf's taking some wrap off his wrist, so they're going to have just a little switch. It'll be Reinhardt that'll head out to short. Cole Julfs will come in here with 1 out in the 6th inning.
We'll take a look at Cole Julf's numbers. Senior making his 15th appearance on the hill. 5-1 record. 35 1/3 innings pitched, 36 hits, so people move the baseball against him. He does have the good punch-out pitch, 41 strikeouts in 35 1/3 innings, just 9 base on balls, so a 4-to-1 ratio there, and a 1.98 earned run average for the 6-foot, 170-pound senior Cole Julfs.
So our schedule for the day, which has been modified from what you may have originally seen at IHSA.org. Originally, we were playing all 1A baseball in the first 2 games and then 2A in the next 2. But this is the 1A championship ball game. Immediately following, we will play the 2A state championship. That will be Teutopolis taking on Hall. And then once those games are completed, we'll get into the 3rd place games. 1A 3rd place game will be Ottawa Marquette taking on Goreville, and then we'll wrap things up this afternoon as the 2A 3rd place game will match Herscher. They'll be taking on Tuscola. Again, weather, rain, thunderstorms expected to be moving into the area at about 1 o'clock. So we're a few hours away from that.
You're not going to let that happen, are you?
Nope, not going to happen. We're supposed to get up to 88 degrees today.
And it's still cool right now.
It's 67 right now. So you got a left-handed shortstop out there, as that's something we saw last year with Reinhardt at short. Saw it a little bit yesterday when Julfs came into the game. First batter that Julf's going to face will be Eric Hernandez. Yeah, pesky leadoff hitter today. Infield single. in the first, a single, and a run scored in the third, and tried to reach on a bunt. Was not successful with that, and that was in the fourth inning. He'll pull it this time off the glove and wrist of Michael Chisholm and into right field.
Ball hit hard, had some top spin. Watch the ball jump right there on Chisholm. Went right over his right shoulder. Tough play on a hard hit ball.
The error will be charged to Chisholm. They'll bring up M.J. Stavola. Stavola was part of the doubles parade in the third inning. After Hernandez lit off with the double, Stavola drove him in with the double. And later on in the inning, Matson would add the third double of the frame.
7 doubles, tournament record. And, of course, since the tournament record, a championship game record for the Eagles of Aurora Christian. Flying high here this morning.
7 doubles as a record. You think that's going to stay for a little while?
Yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment.
Yes, it is. And a lot of it, you had alluded to it earlier, there's been some balls driven, but there's some leg hustle doubles as well.
I'll catch the outside edge for Stavola. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles today. Actually 2 for 3. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning.
Jolf's just 13 pitches yesterday.
There goes the runner. Kempfer's throw, not in time. Hernandez with the easy stolen base. And meanwhile, Stavola will be called out on strikes.
16 stolen bases now for Hernandez. Gets himself into scoring position.
For Sam Tickle, who has a run driven in today. Tickle with 52 runs batted in. Won't get one here. Rowald, high thrower to first base, but down with it is Chisholm. So the job is simple right now for Valmeyer. We will go to the top of the 7th inning. Valmeyer needs 4 to keep this game moving.
We started growing pumpkins and selling pumpkins in a roadside stand the first year my 10-year-old was born. People come, pick out their pumpkins, and they put their money in the box. We have the kids help out on the farm, and they get to keep the money for their college savings. With my kids and my customers, my goal is to improve their situation.
With Country Financial, if you just take simple steps, preparing for college isn't as overwhelming as you think. Find an authorized representative near you at TakeSimpleSteps.com.
All across America, teenagers are making a difference, gaining respect, and changing the future. Here in Illinois, the future is now. 16 and 17-year-olds can now register to be organ tissue donors in Illinois. Nearly 5,000 people in our state need a life-saving organ, and about 300 people die every year waiting. Be part of the solution. Join the Illinois Secretary of State's Organ Tissue Donor Registry. Register at lifegoeson.com.
When I'm out there, it's like I'm free. When I'm out there, I'm an athlete.
As I got to a point in my career where I could give back, the Donald W. Swift Scholarship was a fund that was just natural for me, being that it was in honor of my grandfather. I'm just proud to be able to say that my grandfather's legacy carries on, and I know for certain that it's making a big impact.
Thank you. Can I help you today?
No thanks. I'm just looking. Oh, this is cute.
The job facing Valmeyer right now will be runners. We need runners. If you're a Valmeyer fan, and they will start it with a pinch hitter, it'll be Logan Seidler. He'll be batting for Riley McCarthy here in the top of the 7th inning. Seidler, junior, 346 hitter in the year, 26 official at-bats. Two quick strikes.
Good rhythm right now and tempo with his fastball. He got strike one, always the toughest pitch The top of the last inning.
1, 2, 3. One gone. Strikeout number 6 for Kunzendorf.
Eagle fans starting to feel it. Every pitch, you'll hear more crowd noise from their faithful. About a 2 hour, 15-minute drive for the west suburbs of Chicago.
First appearance ever for Aurora Christian in the state baseball finals. They are 2 outs away from making history. Mouse puts a charge into this one, but Turek is there. 2 outs. Looks like we will get another pinch hitter here with 2 outs in the 7th inning. Andrew Whipple being called back.
It's to be 21 pinch hitting.
That is Evan Thien.
255 hitter coming in, 47 at bats.
Aurora Christian had to survive a 9-inning game in the Super Sectionals. A 2-1 win. And this for a team that hits .414 on the season. They did it in a low-scoring game. They have pounded out the hits here today, and now they are just 2 strikes away from claiming their first state championship.
86, so he's gassed it up. He's pooched up about 2 or 3 miles an hour this inning.
And another.
The anticipation of a celebration.
Just a piece of it for Thien. The fans will have to wait for yet another pitch. Out of play. And Kunzendorf will wait for an ambulance to pass by on Jefferson Street, only increasing the drama. Here it is. It's now 2-2. Will this stay in play? Thompson? Couldn't get there. Kunzendorf would love to end it on a K. Just can't get it by Evan Thien. He's having a pretty sweet at bat in the pinch hitting role.
Now the talk, do you want to change selection? He'd been going good old-fashioned hard ball, hard ball, hard ball. A couple of them, can he buckle him with a breaker? 113 pitches, theoretically his last batter. He wants to finish it himself.
And Aurora Christian is your 2018 Class 1A state baseball champions. And here's the final pitch that will claim that first place trophy. And Kunzendorf, the sprint off the mound to start the celebration. Aurora Christian closes out the season 33-2. And the first state baseball championship in school history for the second year in a row. Valmeyer will end their season in second place.
Just an outstanding baseball game. Aurora Christian, every facet, 12 hits on the board, played very good defense, got timely hitting, 7 doubles, and outstanding pitching as the sensational sophomore moves to 10-0 and gets the final punch out on the outer edge with an exclamation point to crown a champion.
Class 1A trophy will go, the first place trophy, to the Eagles from Aurora Christian. The final score, Aurora Christian 5, Valmeyer 1 for your 1A state title. Stick around, we've got 2A baseball, your championship game matching Teutopolis and Spring Valley Hall. That's coming your way next. But for now, we say so long for a few moments from Dozer Park. For Mark Lindo, I'm Dave Bernhard. The final 1A state champions, Aurora Christian, 5-1 winners over Valmeyer.